On the dig!
You're a perfectionist, Tungdil Bolafar.
I've got a reputation to uphold. If you can't rely on the metalwork of a dwarf, what can you rely on?
What time is it now? I'll go and get ready now, right? No, I'll jump the quick show. For a deal, I'm gonna put you out down, see what you think of this first.
You look dreadful.
What a charmer.
The maid gives you an ironic, reprimanding scowl.
Jenny.
Ikana has been crying half the night.
When you were teething, I carried you around the vaults. You played with my beard and I sang you to sleep.
Frala smiles. She's heard this story many times before.
That was 23 cycles ago. I'm quite sure you didn't sing. You might have grumbled a bit.
If what you've read about the dwarven lifespan is true, it'll be another 300 sun cycles and more before you are called to the Eternal Forge. The certainty of one day having to witness Frala's death already burdens your heart.
What can I do for you?
For me, nothing. It's Lot Yonan. He wants to see you in his study.
In your mind, you go through all the recent incidents that might have annoyed the Magus. Apart from a few little squabbles with his famuli, nothing worth mentioning happened since the incident with your beard.
Jenny's on.
Okay.
Teleport
Better not
over.
keep the Magus waiting.
See you later. There's goulash for dinner.
There was a time when you could hardly lift the heavy hammer. Now you barely notice it anymore, and it feels like an extension of your arm. Smithing is in your blood.
Hey, groundling! Come to the kitchen, we need you.
Jolison, a 4th degree famulus and your favorite foe among the students of magic, gives you a disparaging glance and disappears without waiting for your reply.
Tungdale! Quick! Or the goulash will get burnt!
You immediately recognize what the problem is. A chain running over a pulley for positioning the cauldron is detached from its mounting, and the cauldron stuck in the fireplace. It's a heavy load, and none of the famuli, who feel superior even during kitchen duty, dare do anything. They might burn their fingers, or even get a bit dirty.
Fucking you being busy.
It'd be a waste of goulash. And I'm hungry. Here, hold this.
With as much concern in your voice as you can muster, you say,
Oh, no, this doesn't look good.
you're pleased to notice he's dripping with sweat.
I'll get you back for this, groundling! You damned freak!
For a moment, you hope the famulus really does raise his hand to you. But then he comes to his senses and leaves the kitchen, his face bright red.
What a pair you are!
The goulash is bubbling in the cauldron. You draw the warm air in through your nose, and the smell makes your mouth start watering. Vegetables, bread, cheese, but the cook is not to be trifled with. Many painful knuckles have taught you that she knows how to handle her heavy wooden spoon, and that she may possibly have eyes in the back of her head. The beer that is delivered to the vaults is supposed to be the best beer in Idderslane. It's certainly your favourite beer, but you haven't drunk enough other beers.
The blacksmith? Do you want something?
Did a horse bolt while you were trying to shoe it? It's certainly not on our plates.
Whereabouts are you now, or did you log off? The teleport and teleport over to us.
Of the 200 or so people selected to learn the art of magic under Lot Yonan, there's barely a handful of them you can stand the sight of. You're not at all interested in magic in all its elusiveness and whimsy. Your realm is the Forge.
Down here. I'm already used to go underneath and try raiders on these water platforms. No, they can't.
Lot Yonan's vaults are equipped with
Probably
laboratories,
use
a
a massive
library,
fucking
and
turret
private
down here.
rooms for the famuli. Together with the forge, the kitchen, and the other utility rooms, it makes up quite an impressive complex.
Right next to the rest.
But compared to the courts of the other Magi, the seat of power in Yonandar is small and modest.
Where are you? Stuck in the water. The outside? Right here, look. A big massive turret tower down there. And big towers on each corner of the pillar. Be hard for them to raid it.
Master Lot Yonan, Frala told me you wished to speak with me.
Ah, Tungdil, come in. There is a bag over there in the cupboard. Take it out, please. It contains artifacts belonging to my former famulus Goren. I wish to return them to him. He's in Blacksaddle, 300 miles away.
300 miles? That's a long journey. Who are you going to entrust with this?
I was thinking of you.
Me?
There is no one better to take on this journey. You have acquired much knowledge. You are almost a scholar. You know more than most famuli about Girdlegard and its inhabitants. It is time for you to go out into the world and see it with your own eyes.
With pleasure.
Be on your guard. Look after the bag and don't lose it. May Palandiel be with you. And Varakas too, of course.
I'll set off immediately. I'll see you soon, Lot Yonan.
Right, that's the name of the server, so we can get back on there. Jeff, software touches out. Nemo, goes around your leaving your house. Right, I'll jump in the shower now.
Good night, guys. Stay safe.
Right.
Hello, Frala. I've got a present for you.
You take out a symbol of protection that you've carefully made from 3 horseshoe nails.
It's not the finest jewellery in Girdlegard.
One look at Frala's face makes it clear that it doesn't matter. She glows with happiness as she takes the pendant.
For me? But why?
Because you don't see me as an oddity, and you're like a little sister to me.
You could have said, but you settle with a shrug and a crooked smile.
I need provisions for 300 miles.
You're grinning from ear to ear. Finally, you've got the chance to see something of the world.
300? Tungdil, that's no errand. That's an...
I'm going to Black... Perhaps I'll even meet some dwarves on the way.
Frala throws you a cautious glance.
I know.
Yes.
I have to go.
I wish you the blessing of Palandiel and Vrakas to protect you from all danger on your journey. Here, a talisman. Whenever you look at it, think of me.
Frala winks at you mischievously.
And of getting me a nice present.
closing the fucking windows, switching the fucking radiator on, put the radiator between the fucking lights and fucking cut like the fucking squatting on the fucking bastard because he lights are fucking freezing. Just to point out, it's one of them fucking portables, you know, the oil radiators. It's not a radiator attached to a wall. It's an electric oil one.
How nice met face to face.
Nudin, welcome. Please, sit down.
No, thank you, my friend. These Nudin immediately. The perished land is stirring.
Are you sure?
During a visit to the borders, our magical barriers have weakened and become porous. The Elfar have left their land, and a huge horde of orcs have marched into Girdlegard.
Were you able to strengthen the spell with your magic?
No. I can't repair the damage alone. We need the combined power of the 6. The other 4 are already on their way here, but we need your help too.
I will set off for Parista without delay.
Oh, and as you're coming, could you also take the opportunity to bring back the things that I lent to you?
Of course. I have them already packed in a bag.
Oh, thank you. We'll be expecting you.
Utterly blinded by the sunlight, you squeeze your eyes tightly shut after only a few steps. The time spent underground has made you so sensitive to light that you're forced to seek shelter in the shade of a mighty oak. You reach a small lake by a birchwood. Your feet hurt and your eyes still sting in the... You pitch your... Around midday, with the sun high in the sky and the first beads of sweat appearing on your forehead...
Yeah,
you...
Yeah, it's only $6, so I bought it.
When you see the blood on the ground, you try to convince yourself...
Horizon? I haven't finished that one yet.
You don't see any signs of a struggle in the area where the corpses are lying. Were they stabbed by a companion? A stranger could hardly have crept up on them with such sparse cover. You look down on a tall, broadly built man. He's wearing dark brown leather armor that is strengthened with iron plates. There's a sword lying next to him. Was he trying to defend himself against something? Or someone? There is no blood on the sword.
By Vracus.
There are some narrow stab wounds in the man's chest. The cuts are too big to have been made by arrows, but too small for sword wounds. A rucksack that probably belonged to one of the dead. It seems to... You find a few A slender man lies in front of you, dressed in an expensive robe. It is...
Does this mean that Turga the Fair-Faced is...
The man has the same incisions. It's clear that both men were killed by the same weapon. But what that weapon might be, you cannot say.
Nothing again.
You halt. There is something.
Another rucksack?
You open the rucksack. Warmth and a feeling of security flush through your body. You scour the area once more and ask yourself what to do next. It's time-consuming and strenuous work digging shallow graves in the ground with a stick and covering the corpses with a few stones. But it should at least keep the crows from their feasting for a while. You continue on your way so as to put a few more miles between you and your grisly find before night falls. You reach the banks of the Warder and can see Axeldale on the other side, but there isn't a bridge for far and wide. The fishermen's boats glide over the water, which sparkles in the sun. None of the men seem to notice you while they throw out their nets. You call to the nearest fisherman. He looks across at you briefly before turning away and getting back to his work. You're going to have to find another way of crossing the river. You look at the cold, dark water. The current seems so strong, that they could carry off even the most experienced of swimmers. And you aren't even a mediocre one. You once read a legend in a book. Elria, the goddess of water, did not like the children of the Forge and cursed the dwarves, so that they would drown in any waters beyond their kingdoms. The main reason that dwarves avoid water to this day. You leave the peaceful banks of the river behind you and continue on your way. You look down on a large village on the banks of the Warder. Some of the village is built on stilts in the river. A wooden bridge spans the fast-flowing water. A huge wooden palisade has been erected to protect the village from attack. The guards on the palisade are watching you. Their armor looks well cared for and well made. The smith who made them knew what he was doing. You conclude that the men... The double gate is made of strong planks, sturdy but still much less solid than the fixed parts of the palisade. Security... Some of the guards begin to whisper as you near the gate.
Hello up there!
What brings you to fair good water? And have you seen any orcs on your travels, groundling?
The man leaning over the palisade eyes you up and down carefully.
I'm a dwarf, I'll have you know, just like you are humans and not overgroundlings. So will you let me in now?
I regret to inform you that we cannot allow you to enter. The gates stay closed once night has fallen.
There is certainly no regret showing in the man's face.
I've got 20 pieces of gold here looking for a taker in the village.
Ha! One of your folk might leave his post for 20 pieces of gold, but I say, clear off, groundling. The gates stay closed until tomorrow morning.
But...
As you get closer to part of the palisade, you hear whispering from the other side.
Psst! Groundling!
You look around and reach the palisade with a few quick steps. No one saw you. You see one of the mercenaries through the gaps in the palisade. He looks around nervously.
40 gold pieces, did you say?
I offered your commander 20 gold pieces to open the gate.
I can't open the gate for you, but I can let you in. There's a secret sally port just here. 30 gold pieces.
All right. 30 gold pieces and not a word to anyone.
That would cost me my head too.
You decide not to sneak around the village for too long and hide in some straw in a barn. You sleep uneasily, afraid you'll wake up at any moment with a knife at your throat. You don't feel very rested the next morning. But you manage to cross the bridge without incident and leave Goodwater behind you. An uneasy feeling has been your constant companion since you left Goodwater. Every little sound in the forest makes you fear you've been discovered by a horde of orcs. But you reach the end of the day without bumping into any of the greenskins. It seems as though Vracus has granted you one more day in Girdlegard. As night begins to fall, you pass a large oak tree and decide to call it a day. Near the oak tree is an abandoned tent with a fireplace, which appears to be a couple of days old. You swing yourself up the trunk and then pull up your baggage after you. You're prepared to sleep in a tree like a bird if it means escaping the orcs' attentions. You sling your rope twice around your stomach and the trunk of the tree to stop you from falling accidentally. You close your eyes and dream. You see North Pass and smell the fresh, icy wind that sweeps over the peaks of Great Blade and Dragon's Tongue. But the harmony is interrupted by the hideous roar of an unending flood of orcs throwing itself unceasingly against the fortification. You smell the disgusting green blood of the orcs and taste the rancid fat of their armor on your tongue. The bitter taste becomes stronger until it's unbearable and wrenches you out of your dream. You open your eyes and are surprised at the brightness as a glance at the sky confirms that it's still night. Your eyes move towards the ground, and what you see makes the blood in your veins freeze.
I am Sinthras of Son Balsur. My master, Nod On the Doublefold, ruler of the perished land, has elected you, the lords of Taboribor, to be the sword that conquers the south.
You mean you want us to put our necks on the line and be killed by some magus?
Lord Yonan and the others will be taken care of. Your task is to create a diversion in the south until my master's plan succeeds.
And which of us is the leader?
The one that conquers the most land.
So Kragnar will be the new Grand Lord.
He glares at Ushnots and Bashkug.
The Kragnar Shore tribe will conquer the most land.
Never! We will overwhelm the cities of the Red Bloods quicker than you can suck the marrow from a bone.
We shall see.
You can't believe what you're hearing. If the beasts of Tion ride into battle together, catastrophic cycles lie ahead for Girdlegard. The night in the oak tree was the worst of your life. You spent every single moment afraid that you would be found and savaged by the orcs. But as the first rays of sun broke through the treetops, the orcs abandoned their camp and left without discovering you.
Better safe than sorry.
Your eyes scan the deserted camp, and you listen carefully for any noise. But you don't see or hear anything suspicious. You're overcome by the urge to vomit. You have, of course, heard the stories, but seeing with your own eyes that orcs actually do eat humans is a long way from just reading about it.
This is the place. I knew it was here. Come on then, find that stupid necklace. Hey, Fuskar! In front of you! A grounding! Perfect for a spotted breakfast.
Perhaps you'll manage to kill at least one of them, so as not to appear so undwarven in Varacus's eyes.
I'll give you something to chew on. Varacus made us of stone.
Oink, oink, little piggies! By Barrowin's beard! How did you manage to lose your weapon? Go and get it, and this time, hold it tight! Hey, that one was mine!
You're just too slow, dear brother!
Too slow? Just wait! Another one bites
I can't do that yet. Please wait a moment.
On my way!
I can't do that yet. Please wait a moment. I can't do that yet.
Yeah! Too easy! I didn't hit you very hard! Oh! Hey! I am Boenda! Give me a hand! Too easy! Yeah! Ow!
Another one bites the dust. As good as done.
I need help over here, quickly!
Please wait a moment.
I need to switch.
I can't do that yet! It can't end like this!
I forgot how you switch characters.
Yes?
Yeah! What is it? What is it?
They're hitting me pretty hard! I need help over here, quickly! Uh-huh.
Yeah! And what now? I didn't hit you very hard. Too easy. Yes?
He hardly put up a fight!
Hey!
Others will take my place.
At least now I know how to switch the character around. Oh, shit.
Yes?
Yeah!
All right, please wait a moment.
Yeah! What is it?
I need help over here, quickly!
Too
They're hitting me
easy.
pretty hard! He cheated!
I'll be ready soon. Yeah!
I can't do that yet!
Yes?
It can't end like this! Yes?
On my way! As good as done. All right.
Of course!
And what now?
Oh, you stupid game. Annoying the piss out of me.
Yes?
On my way! Huh? What is it?
I'm with you!
What button do I have to push to unpause it? Press something to continue, but I can't tell what it is.
Yes? Huh? Huh? And what now? Yes?
What is it?